Welcome back everybody, Astroligator here. Excited to have you as we learn more about the art of deep listening with music. Another way to think about this is active listening. We're training our ears and our minds to focus in on certain aspects of music to really hear what's happening in each song. Now, this is gonna take some practice, but that's why I'm gonna show you how I create music by taking you behind the scenes of my mixes so we can really isolate each aspect on its own to really understand and hear why and how it's being used. Today we're talking about one of my favorite parts of music, drums. We're going to listen to drum cymbal panning and how dynamics create an emotional roller coaster ride in songs. And then at the end I'm going to play the song in its entirety so you can hear everything in full context. And feel free to watch the video, but if you prefer to just listen, that's great too. And I highly recommend headphones if you got them, but let's dive into the mix. Awesome. If you watched the last episode, you'll remember we talked about the use of space in the stereo field to place an instrument and create separation. That's no different for drums as well. When we go to record drums at the studio, we actually use two microphones above the drum set called overheads. These two microphones capture the entire drum set, but their main focus is to capture the overhead cymbals and create a stereo image of the drums. By using two microphones, we can separate out the left and the right by placing them in their respective areas to create that stereo image. But let's take a listen so you can hear what I mean.
I don't remember. Is this where I come from?
Could you hear any separation between the drum cymbals? It can definitely be hard when everything is going on. So let's isolate the drums and listen one more time. So we're actually using the entire stereo field just with the drum set alone. That's because those overhead microphones are creating that stereo image to give enough space for each drum and cymbal. So now let's solo those overheads to hear exactly what they're doing. We can hear a lot of separation between the hi-hat and a crash on the left side and the ride on the right side of the headphones. Now, why is this important? If we didn't have that separation, the drums would sound a lot more narrow and you wouldn't be able to distinguish as easily between each hit. So let's hear that by bringing the rest of the drum set back in, but bringing the overheads from left and right down the middle. You can really hear how less defined each drum cymbal and drum sound now. Take a listen when I put the overheads back to the left and right, how much the kick and cymbals come back to life. It's pretty amazing what a little space and separation can do for each drum. But let's jump into talking about dynamics in music. Dynamics are a big part of the storytelling in a song. They're what really drive you on that emotional roller coaster and keep your attention. Dynamics just refers to the loudness you're hearing between phrases and sections. They really help create that tension and release to keep you engaged in the song. I got the perfect part right here that I think will drive home that idea. Obviously a few things are happening here. We're going from a clean sound to a heavy and then back to a clean. But also how the drums are being hit, the guitars are being played, and the vocals are being delivered that really help create that dynamic shift in the song. And then we can also hear that the entire level of the song is coming up to really give it that impact. Let's take away that dynamic shift by lowering the level of the heavy section and see what that sounds like. It just sucks out all the energy of that transition. It just takes away all the power and all the engagement that it had. You really want to use dynamics to draw your listeners in so they kind of lean forward and really listen. Let's check it out one more time now that we know what we're listening for and how this transition should be taking us on that emotional roller coaster. Now, in your favorite songs, try to listen to each drum cymbal and where they're placed, and listen for any dynamic movements in each song. And I really hope you learned something today. And if you liked the video, a like and a subscribe would really mean a lot. And I'll add some links in the description box below if you're interested in hearing or learning more about what I do. And if there's anything specific you want to hear in any of the upcoming videos, write it in the comments below. But now, here's the song.
If I